We're in day 5 of 7 in the category of inventions. Today we're going to talk about Dr. Victor Abegnanu. He studied to be a veterinarian and somehow managed to become an African telecommunication technology legend. Basically, that means he was able to advance the way that we use Wi-Fi, television, and I guess calling. This man created polyvalent wireless communication systems. Basically, it's replacing fiber optics. So when we think of like cable and whatnot, he's able to have access to cable networks without having the need for fiber optics. That's really interesting because a lot of our Wi-Fi technology, phone technology requires the fiber optics industry. What he did was found a way to utilize the same technology without the expense. He made a cheaper version of Wi-Fi, and it was very sophisticated. Essentially, his system, which is the PWCS system, it has high frequencies that replace the use of fiber optics. It's a cheaper alternative on the market because fiber optics, it takes a lot for one, to get the material, and two, to get the contracts and finances to be able to pay for someone to dig holes, for someone to be a civil engineer and have the correct plans for the fiber optic network. He found a cheaper alternative. He said, no, you just need 2 antennas, a receiver, and a transmitter, and it needs to also have a promoter being installed so that those receiver and transmitters are able to get the correct signals. This man created this system that will allow, so he specifically wanted his product to benefit Africa and the African people. So basically, this product will give you the same high-speed internet, the same phone access, and television for a cheaper monthly rate. This man loves his African people so much. Oh, mind you, he's Togolese. He's from the country Togo in Africa, and they speak French. So he figured out a way that African people would be able to have the same access to the technological advances of today. He found out a cheaper way so that Africa doesn't have to be behind because we don't have all of these fiber optic industry related material. He cut out the fiber optics industry completely. Like, he made a cheaper alternative and he made a just as functional alternative, which means this man is a genius. He's an African genius. And if you think about it, this technology is not something that has been widely implemented. I'm thinking because it shuts down the whole fiber optic industry. This man created a whole business that benefits African people, and if anyone wants to use it around the world, it benefits everyone around the world. It's way cheaper and is just as effective. This man is so ingenious because not only did he work as an inventor to create this polyvalent wireless communication system, he also created solar tablets so African children would be able to have the same access to technology as any regular student, as like students that are in the West is the better way to say it. So like students that are in the West, like we take tablets and our electronics for granted. But in reality, some African countries and some African students are not able to have the same access to technology. So he modified tablets so that they'll be able to be solar powered. The sun will charge it. And honestly, that's very beneficial because not everyone in Africa has access to electricity. And that just makes sure that the next genius is supported. This man is still alive. And I know that's kind of rare to have him in Black history if, he's not a dead person that did great work. But he's an alive person to today. His patent for this product was in 2004. And it's just so crazy that it hasn't been implemented in every African country, because we need to groom the next genius. We need to groom the next Dr. Victor Abegnenu. And one of the best ways to do that is through education, which he's already doing. What I've also realized is there are a lot of African intellects in Africa. African intellect does not just mean living in the African continent. That also means within the diaspora. That also means having been of African descent. So I'm just thinking that this man has done some great stuff for the African genome. For me to say that I'm an African descendant, and for him to be an African descendant, I can say that our African genome is the greatest. It's the best thing that God has made. Like, how dare we be so smart and innovative in a world that tries to demean us and diminish our light, and yet we still pop up as geniuses regardless of our backgrounds. We thrive.